What if I told you Linkin Park's comeback isn't just about music? It might actually expose one of the most secretive, controversial organizations on the planet. Yeah, buckle up, because this isn't just rock history. This is Scientology versus Linkin Park, and trust me, the deeper we go, the weirder it gets. Let's break down 10 shocking facts about how Linkin Park could blow the lid off Scientology. Fact 1. Chester's legacy lives on. Chester Bennington wasn't just a rock star, he was a lightning rod of raw emotion. This guy didn't just sing songs, he ripped his heart open on stage and dared millions of us to stare right into the chaos with him. He talked openly about depression, childhood trauma, and addiction at a time when mental health wasn't trending. It was taboo, remember? In the early 2000s, being emo was practically a punchline, but Chester, he made it a battle cry. I don't know if anybody out there can relate, but I have a hard time with life. That wasn't just a quote, it was validation for an entire generation of kids who felt broken and invisible. Suddenly, angst had an anthem and pain had a frontman. Think about it, Kurt Cobain gave Gen X their voice. Chester Bennington handed the mic to millennials drowning in post 9/11 anxiety, high school bullying, and parents who thought therapy was just talking too much. And musically, Chester could go from a whisper to a primal scream in seconds. It was like hearing an angel and a demon fighting over custody of the same vocal cords. Linkin Park wasn't just a band, they were therapy with guitars. So when Chester died at 41, fans didn't just lose a singer, they lost their emotional translator. Linkin Park's silence afterward wasn't surprising, because honestly, how do you replace a man who sang exactly what you were too scared to say out loud? But then came the plot twist, because 6 months later, Linkin Park did something nobody thought they'd ever do. They turned the page. Fact 2. Enter Emily Armstrong. After Chester's passing, most people assumed Linkin Park would retire the mic permanently. I mean, how do you continue when the soul of the band is gone? But in late 2024, boom. Plot twist. Linkin Park announced their new vocalist, Emily Armstrong, and the internet did what it always does best, freaked out. Now, if you were a hardcore rock junkie, you probably knew her as the frontwoman of Dead Sarah. Their live shows, chaotic. Emily's voice? Imagine Janis Joplin arm wrestling with Courtney Love while Grace Slick judges from the sidelines. Pure grit, pure soul. But to the average Linkin Park fan, Emily was basically that indie artist your hipster cousin brags about. Oh, you don't know Dead Sarah? Wow, here's the kicker. Mike Shinoda swore up and down that Emily was the one, that her voice wasn't just good, it was haunting. He said it felt like her soul was bleeding through every lyric, and honestly, he wasn't wrong. When Emily sings, it's not just sound, it's a purge. You feel it, you can't fake that kind of pain. Weren't convinced. In fact, they were furious. And it wasn't because Emily couldn't scream like Chester. She can. It wasn't because she couldn't shred a ballad. She absolutely does. It was because of her past. A past tangled in whispers of Scientology, celebrity scandals, and one very awkward court appearance we'll get into later. So, for many fans, Emily's arrival didn't feel like a resurrection of Linkin Park. It felt like a betrayal. And if you think that sounds dramatic, just wait, because Emily's first big controversy had less to do with music and a lot more to do with a disgraced Hollywood actor. Fact 3. The Danny Masterson connection. Emily once showed up to support actor Danny Masterson, who was later convicted of crimes too grim to say out loud here. She admitted it was a mistake and apologized, but fans weren't buying it. The problem? Masterson grew up in Scientology, and if Masterson was the smoke, Emily's history with Scientology is the fire. Fact 4. Born into the church. Unlike casual celebrity members, Emily didn't just dabble in Scientology, she was born into it. Her mom worked directly under leader David Miscavige. Translation, she was raised in the lion's den, and leaving this church? Easier said than done. In fact, it might be deadly. Fact 5. The hole? Yes, it's real. Reports say Emily's mother was punished in Scientology's private prison known as the hole. Imagine calling your boss scary, then realizing your boss is basically running a secret dungeon. Yeah, not exactly Sunday service vibes. Which brings us to the million-dollar question. Why hasn't Emily spoken out? Fact 6. Silence isn't always golden. If Emily drags Scientology in public, she risks losing everything, even her family. Scientology is notorious for cutting off loved ones and harassing anyone who speaks out. Her silence may not be support, it may be survival. But here's the twist. Her music might already be speaking for her. Fact 7. Lyrics that clap back. On her album Tragic, Emily sings about battling addiction, self-worth, and even mocks Scientology's bizarre detox program. One lyric about sweating off chemicals in a bubble bath? That's basically a middle finger to Scientology. And just wait until you hear what she belts out on Linkin Park's new record. Fact 8. The song that changed everything. In 2024, Linkin Park dropped Casualty with Emily. The chorus, "Set Me Free." Fans couldn't help but wonder, was this just a song or Emily's coded message about breaking free from Scientology? If that sounds wild, buckle up because it gets even more ironic. Fact 9. A band built on mental health. Linkin Park's legacy is all about destigmatizing mental health. Meanwhile, Scientology rejects therapy altogether. Having Emily, a woman possibly escaping that system, step up as their new voice. That's poetic justice, and it leads us to the biggest reason Linkin Park could actually expose Scientology. Fact 10. The power of the platform. Linkin Park isn't just a band, they're a movement. If Emily uses their platform to tell her story, or even hint at the truth about Scientology, it could crack open one of the most secretive cults in modern history. So maybe, just maybe, Linkin Park isn't just making a comeback, maybe they're about to spark the loudest rebellion Scientology has ever faced. But what do you think? Will Emily stay silent, or will Linkin Park's music do the talking? Drop your thoughts below because this story is only just beginning. And hey, hit that subscribe button because if Scientology tries to shut me down, you're definitely gonna want to see what happens next.